Hey, Mark, back with you. This is a way that you can start generating income right now with fractional ownership of some of the world's greatest assets. It can actually happen a lot quicker than you think. And in fact, you can even start for as low as $50. Make sure that you did watch the video in the YouTube channel. That's where I lay the foundation about getting started with 100% passive investing and why it's so important that all of your passive investments actually also create regular and ongoing income. Today, what we're going to be talking about is really a major breakthrough in investing, and it's the ability to actually own a slice of the pie. This enables you to diversify across multiple different fractional investments. It drastically lowers the investment required. Now you can actually invest in real estate from single family homes, vacation homes, apartment complexes, and own them fractionally and also enjoy the income that's created from these properties. I do want to put up the risk disclosure just to understand that we'll be talking about actual investments. And with any investment, of course, there is always a risk of loss. So just want to make sure that everybody understands that before making an investment. These are some of the different companies that offer fractional investment opportunities. In fact, here's just a couple of the vacation homes that I own a fraction of. Here's one in the Blue Ridge Mountains, another one in Scottsdale, Arizona. And these are pictures of the actual homes. A single family rental home that I own a fraction, a share of basically, one in Charleston, South Carolina. And by the way, I don't do any of the day-to-day work on any of these properties. I don't have to travel to these locations. I just generate income from these properties and have my ownership share. Additional opportunities that a lot of people are not aware of. There's the ability to not just own a fraction, but to actually own the entire house, turnkey real estate investing. But you don't have to do any of the hard work, which means find those houses, rehab them, replace the roof and the appliances and the flooring and the cabinetry. You don't have to do any of that. If anything breaks, you never get a phone call. You don't have to collect the rent. I actually do this on multiple different homes. Here's two of them. One that I own on the left in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, another one in Atlanta as well. And these two properties have paid me over the last couple of years. I collect a rental income monthly, and I have virtually no hassles. Everything else is managed for me, including all of the rehab work that was done on these homes. There are ways to do financing and still can generate cash flow, and you can even go in with other people and partners, and once again, not have to do anything on a regular day-to-day basis. Now, another way that you can fractionally invest is you can actually buy very small shares of some of the world's top companies: Apple, Tesla, Netflix, Amazon, Microsoft. You can go on and on. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, I can buy stocks of these companies. And you're right, that is fractionally buying a share of these companies. But you can also generate monthly income from these companies, not just quarterly, but actually monthly. You might think maybe that's dividends paying stocks. But there's another way to do it, even for stocks such as Tesla and Netflix and Amazon that don't pay dividends at all, where you can still generate income from these stocks. I'm going to share that strategy with you over the next week or two. It's a great strategy that I also personally deploy every single month in my personal investing. Another way that you can invest fractionally is collectibles, baseball cards, comic books, coins. The difference here is these are speculative investments. They will hopefully go up in value, and then at some point they will be sold and you will make your return. What's great about being able to fractionally invest in these is typically some of these investments could be tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can own a small piece of collectibles. If I'm looking for income, it's not going to be able to provide that. The same goes with artwork. You can actually own fractional ownership of not the Mona Lisa or the Starry Night, but some really high value artwork. It's not going to generate income. I want you to see how much is going on right now in fractional investing. Here's companies that are offering collectibles and art investing. These are opportunities to look into ways of owning fractional shares. Now, you have to do your due diligence on any of the companies that I share because there's pros and cons really to all of them. Another thing you can do is you can become the bank. Now, I know if you become the bank, typically we're thinking we have to have millions of dollars. That's no longer the case. You can actually be the bank. You can provide financing, but you just provide a fraction of that overall transaction. These are different companies that provide financing for real estate investors. You can own a small part of that loan, and then you receive the interest payments that come in on those investments. Due diligence has to be done. I'm not saying all of these are great choices, but it certainly gets you started to see what is available to you in fractional finance investing. So what are the real huge superpowers of fractional investing? It gives you the opportunity to own high value assets. By using fractional investing, individuals like you and me, We can now own portions of the high value assets out there. Great real estate, collectibles, art, venture capital, high value stocks. It's not reserved for the wealthy any longer. In addition, you get incredible diversification. You can invest small amounts in many different investments or many different homes. It's going to minimize your risk, and it's going to really make sure that you don't have to be an expert in every single case. Like I mentioned, all budgets are welcome. I told you at the beginning, you can actually start today for $50. Another huge superpower, I believe, is the amazing education. In the past, you would need tens of thousands of dollars just to even start learning about real estate investing or passive investing. Not any longer. You can actually own a share of all the different asset types I showed you and really see how it's done in real time and actually have ownership. That is way better than just reading about it in a book. Remember, though, and I mentioned this a couple times, yes, we want our investments to be 100% passive. I don't want any day-to-day obligations at all, but I want to make sure they're all income generating. So it's very important that your passive investment passes this here. It needs to take under 1 hour to review the investment. It should take less than 10 minutes per month to manage. It should take zero work and effort to operate that investment. It should be able to run on autopilot. If you disappear into the Australian bush for 3 months, that investment should continue to send money into your account. It should pay you regularly. These money-making machines, you invest once and you earn forever. So we want to set up multiple money-making passive machines to create income. You can see now why I think fractional investing is going to be one of your new superpowers when it comes to generating 100% passive income. So let me teach you how to get started with one right now. And that website, it's lofty.ai. They focus on single family rental properties. There's some definite advantages to Lofty that I want to talk about, and I'm going to show you about some disadvantages. Now, one of the big advantages is when you make an investment at Lofty, you actually start to receive your cash flow in your account overnight. They will pay you your daily allocation each day. So it's nice because you get it instantly. Usually it starts the next day, and it tends to be above average market returns. There's some reasons for that I want to discuss in a moment. It is a world-class education in owning rental property. So for $50, you can actually own a share in a home, and you have the ability to sell your shares and get cash the same day. Lofty actually has what's called a secondary market where you can sell shares just like you can sell stock. So that can be very helpful. Now, there are some disadvantages. The homes that they targeted, especially in the beginning, were what are called Class C homes and some Class B. That means they're not always in the most desirable areas, which does lead to some problems. And you will find as you go through their inventory of homes that are available to purchase a fraction of, you're going to see tenant issues, damage, issues with the reserves, which is the amount of money that you always want to have held in an account when something gets broken. You don't have to handle any of that. By the way, you don't get any repair calls, tenant calls. You're not going to deal with any of these issues, but somebody else is going to, and they do come with a cost. But there are some advanced strategies that we use that you can find some diamonds in the rough and actually make a quick gain if you time it right. But that's not really what this video is for, but I do want you to know that even in some of these issues, there are some real opportunities. So these are the steps. I'm going to jump over to Lofty and show you what to do. You go to lofty.ai/marketplace. You'll see all of the different homes that are available that have fractions available for sale. I would tell you on your first investment, just focus on the new listings because they don't have any issues right now, or any that are selling for $45 or higher. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that in a moment. Choose an existing property that already has a renter. I want to make sure you're receiving cash flow immediately. I think first investment, when you're just learning and practicing, just try not to get involved with any drama. Avoid the drama unless you get a significant discount, and diversify if you're going to make multiple investments. Let me go ahead and show you the website. When you click Marketplace, this is what you're going to see, and you're going to see there's a number of properties here that you potentially can buy a token, which is your share. You buy a token, it's a single share, a fraction of this property. They all start at $50. So you'll notice there are properties that are selling well under $50 right now. Now, on some of these, there are huge opportunities to time these and get in at the right time. And I've seen many of these go from $30 to $35 back to $50. That is a significant return. It's 60, 70% returns in a short amount of time. But you have to be very careful on those investments. And there are things that I can teach you that are more advanced to find those. And we'll be talking about those in the days and weeks to come. I want to focus on ones that don't have issues. And what I mean by that, for instance, if I was to choose this property here, it's currently at $39. There's a reason for that. It more than likely has an issue. And a lot of times it means somebody is not paying the rent. As you can see, unit number 2 is delinquent. or the reserves have been depleted, meaning there was a major repair. Your first investment, I don't want you to be getting involved in any that might have a problem. You want to focus on the ones that already have a renter, that are paying on a regular basis and don't have any issues with the reserves. And the way you'll know that if you see rental yield right now is 0%, that's going to tell you right now there is an issue. In this case, you can see notes here that the reserve got depleted. That means repairs were made on the property, the reserves got depleted, and then now the next few months of rents are going to restore that. However, there can sometimes be great opportunities because if you go back a little bit, back just a few weeks ago, there were people selling tokens and people buying at $34. This has already jumped up to $48. That is money that you made on appreciation, nothing to do with cash flow. That's more of an advanced strategy. Focus really in on the ones that are at least $45 and show that they have a renter already in or a lease has been signed so you know that cash flow is going to start happening. There will be some that are trading above the $50. Those typically have a renter, no problems. The bottom line is really just to get started. Buy that first token. You can connect your bank account to buy the shares. There is a small fee. I think it's 0.8%. Do not borrow any money for these type of investments. Never do that on these investments, but absolutely you can very quickly just learn how to own a fraction of properties like this. And Lofty is a really good place to do that, I think, for beginners to get your feet wet with fractional investing. I do want to say Lofty is definitely not one of my main pillars in my multiple income generating systems. It is a place I also learned about fractional investing, and I found some benefit from that. And I have a couple times made some good investments there when I found opportunities that were selling at a discount, and by timing them properly. I think it's a great place to just learn and make that first $50 investment in a single token to see how the whole process works. Because when you do that, you're going to start to really learn how fractional investing works in general. And that's going to start to open you up to a whole bunch of other opportunities. Let me know down below in the comments if you look at any of these properties, if you make your first $50 investment, or if you've ever owned rental properties, or maybe if you've ever done any other fractional investing. I'd be really curious to hear on any of this by you commenting down below. If you have any questions, definitely, by all means, ask. Next video that I'm going to release in this series is really important, and I call it the snowball fortune effect. It's the secret to compounding your passive cash flow. The thing I love about passive investing is I'm not doing any work. If I can add another strategy on top of it, which is also no work and effort, but it increases how much I make, it increases my cash flow, I'm interested, and I think all of you will be interested as well. So that's the next video to come. Make sure you tune back into the channel, and we'll go ahead and notify you when that is up and available. Again, any comments down below, please leave them. Thank you so much. Back with you in the next one.